in the way a bit, actually. Okay. Let me find. Hold on a sec, everybody. I'm getting word that my shot looks terrible. Hold on a second. Bah, 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 bah. What could I do? What could I do? Um, hmm. Actually, you're fine now that you're there. Okay, so Danielle, I'm good. That looks good. Okay. Hi, how are you? I'm Mel Robbins, and this is Mindset Reset. It is video 23. I know that I said yesterday that we were on video 23, but we miscounted. It happens. So this is actually video 23, and today we are talking about one of my favorite mind tricks. It is called assuming good intent. Now, before I explain to you what it is, let me just welcome in all of you. Where are you watching from? Why don't you go into the comments, give us a thumbs up, and tell us where are you tuning in from right now. And if this is the first video that you've ever seen in the Mindset Reset series, Mindset Reset is a free, that's right, free, Free, training program that I and my team are doing the entire month. It is 30 plus days of videos, all free trainings, none of which lead to you buying anything. We're not selling you a event. We're not selling you a mastermind group. We're not selling you a course that you need to buy. We're not selling you anything. In fact, for those of you that have asked about my 5-second journal, I have requested that you not buy it. And actually, you can't buy it because the entire print run has sold out. So there is nothing to buy, absolutely nothing to buy. Why are we doing Mindset Reset? Well, the reason why we're doing Mindset Reset is because if you teach yourself to change how you think, you will change your life. And I personally taught myself how to change how I think, and it has changed my life. And the things that you can do to change the default network in your brain are simple. They are backed by research, and if you practice them, you will 1,000% change the thoughts that you default to, the limiting beliefs that hold you back, the self-doubt that is just damaging your ability to get what you want, the excuses, the anxiety, all of the ways that you talk down to yourself. Believe it or not, those are patterns. Perhaps somebody in your past taught you how to think that way. You're not to blame for that, but you have a responsibility to change how you talk to yourself. And when you change how you think, you will change your life. And so if you want to be a part of the program, which I think you should be, and I think you should send this link and this video to everybody that you know, because this is free, and the feedback that we're getting is absolutely sensational. In fact, I want to read you one right now. It was a feedback. It was a piece of feedback that we got this morning. Every single morning, one of the things that we do on my team is we send out a daily dose, a positive message from somebody in our community. And I have to tell you, this one hit really home. I want to acknowledge Jenny and her daughter, Rosie. And she said, "Hey, Mel, my 6-year-old daughter started kindergarten this year. Hi, Rosie, and experienced major anxiety around drop-off to the point where she was actually getting sick every morning before school." They did a bunch of things at school that was really awesome for her. But the mom, Jenny, started Mindset Reset, just like you're watching this video. And she learned all about the power and the science of visualizing. See, visualizing and being able to see a positive outcome and feel it. There's a 2-step process. We talk about it in video 1 of Mindset Reset. 2-step process to being able to visualize, and visualize in a way that changes the way that you think. She started teaching what she learned in Mindset Reset to her family. They started visualizing how the next day was going to go. She started imagining herself, the little girl Rosie, walking up, energized and excited to see her friends, how happy her teacher would be to see herself engaged in projects, and how, as her mom, I would be ready and waiting for her at pickup to hear all about the day ahead. Now, just 2 days into this routine, this amazing little 6-year-old who started practicing visualization, which was just video 1 of Mindset Reset, experienced her first tear-free morning at drop-off. And the teachers who helped her out of the car couldn't believe it. I believe it. And let me tell you why I believe it. I believe it because I know that this stuff works. You see, most of us don't realize that the way that you think is a habit, and you can teach yourself to think in a different way, and it will fundamentally change your life. Um, Her mom, Jenny, is also following all the other stuff that we cover from video 1 through video 22 about the connection between worry and anxiety, about the importance of your morning routine and how that impacts your mindset, about how you've got to fight for those first 10 to 30 minutes of the day to really get your mindset correct and to focus on the things that are important to you. She writes that her daughter's been a joy every morning. She goes off to school knowing that even if she's nervous, she can think about something that's exciting and change her mind and body's reactions. She went from literally throwing up every morning before school to skipping and jumping out of the car with a smile on her face. I'm still in awe. I am in awe of how awesome you are for trying this stuff. And, look, one of the other things that she writes is, as a mom, there's nothing worse than seeing your kids feeling scared and helpless. And as a human being, it's so hard because you get triggered by that when somebody that you love is battling something. And when you finally realize there are tools out there that are free, that are simple, that you can use in your life every single day, that will change how you think, you will experience a level of control and focus and happiness that you may have never experienced in your life. So thank you, Jenny, for sending that remarkable story to us. Please, please, please keep sending us your stories and tag us on social media. Make sure if you've got a photo that you can take of what you're doing to change your mindset, or the things that you're taking on in your life. You're signing up for classes, you're getting to the gym, you're eating healthy, you're spending time journaling or actually writing every morning, something you've been wanting to do. You're making calls and reconnecting with old friends. Whatever it is, we want to know how Mindset Reset is changing your life. So please tag us on social media, use the hashtag Mindset Reset, and please remember to share this with your friends. If you want to know how to sign up, go to melrobbins.com/mindset reset. We will email you a summary of all the videos. We will send you links. We're going to make this super easy for you. You're not behind. There's no test. There's nothing to catch up on. This is a free resource for you to have for the rest of your life to give you the tools and the skills that you need in order to take control of your mind and win the mental game. In addition, when you go to melrobbins.com/mindset reset and you sign up, we'll send you really cool tools like this puppy right here. This is a really cool 10-page packet that that our team created. Robin and Donna worked tirelessly on this. I know they want us to acknowledge the whole team. This has been a team effort, but this is a guide for parents from worrying to winning. This is how to help your kids reclaim their superpowers and beat anxiety. And this is particularly helpful for kids that are ages 13 and under. 5 top things that your kids can do for themselves. And the other thing that you should do as a parent is you should absolutely go and watch. It's probably video 21. I don't know, Mandy, can you tell me what video it is since the numbers are slightly off? The video where we do this huge training about anxiety. It was on Friday of last week, but now I don't know when you're watching this. So we're going to give you the video that you should go watch. That is all about what we as parents are doing wrong when it comes to helping our kids with anxiety. And boy, I did all of it wrong. So now let's jump into what we're talking about today, which is assuming good intent. Assuming good intent. What does that even mean? Assuming good intent is a positive default mode that I want you to train your brain to drift to. And what does that exactly mean? So what it means is it means being able to go through life and not take everything personally and to not assume the worst always. So I can give you some really good examples of this. Have you ever been in traffic and somebody just either cuts you off or they inch up the side as everybody's merging for construction? And actually, what I'm looking for, Danielle, is the specific one that I did on training for parents. Videos 13 through 12 are all about anxiety. So I think video 21, which what I was saying was video 22, but I think video 21 must be the one that is all about parents and anxiety because it was like an hour long, and video 22 is an FAQ. Now let's go back to assuming good intent. So you're merging for a construction lane being down, and somebody comes up the side and cuts in. And you immediately are like, oh, this always happens to me. I'm always in the wrong line. Oh, what a jerk. So immediately it's personal, and immediately you assume something terrible. What if you had the ability when those sort of small injustices happen to not default to doom and gloom, but to actually go, gosh, I hope everything's okay with that person. To not constantly assume the worst about humanity. Because I'm going to tell you something. This is why this is so powerful. The person who cut you off in traffic, they've already cut you off. What you think about what happened no longer impacts them. It only impacts you. And so if you're going to choose to think anything about a situation that's happening around you, and your thoughts are not going to change the situation that just happened, you might as well choose something positive, because the only person that's getting punished when you think something negative or defeating or nasty based on what just happened is you. You're the one that just thought the poison, so you're the one that's going to feel it. And now this person's ahead of you in line, and maybe they have an emergency. Maybe they're panic-stricken about driving. Maybe they're late for their very first day at work, and they've been warned that this is something that their boss gets like crazy about. You don't know. Maybe their kid is crying in the back seat, and it's a new mom, and she's frazzled. Think something positive that has nothing to do with you, because when you assume good intent, they didn't mean to cut me off. They didn't mean a personal affront. You now are left with a positive state of mind instead of being left being angry and upset about it. Like, here's another example. This is the one that you're going to encounter the most in your life. You send a text. I actually did this today. I sent somebody a text, and I said something that was a little bit like, let me just put it directly. And then I said a particular line that was kind of black and white. And it could be read one way, it could be read the other way. But I haven't heard from this person now in about 3 hours. And so, of course, what is my mind? What is my default mode drifting to? Oh my God, they read it the wrong way. Oh my gosh, they don't know how to respond to this. Oh my gosh, they're upset with me. Oh my gosh, I offended them. Now, is any of that true? I have no idea. I just made it up. I don't actually have any facts other than I sent a text. 3 hours have gone by. I have not heard back. That's all that I've heard. That's it. That's it. Everything else that I choose, notice the word choose, to think about, I am making up. And so if you're going to make up something about the fact that your friend hasn't texted you back and it's been 3 hours, why not assume good intent? They got pulled into a meeting. They are like me and they have ADD, so they read it and they meant to reply and then they forgot. That's always the reason why I'm not replying. They read it and they understood exactly what I meant, and there was no need for a reply. They are going to get back to me when they get home. They're driving a car right now. They're heading up to Vermont or to New Hampshire or whatever. Assume good intent. And the reason why you want to train yourself to do this is because your thoughts will not impact what's actually going on in the physical world, but they will fundamentally impact what you feel physically and mentally in your body. And this is why I say, when you change how you think, you will change your life. Because if you change from constantly defaulting to the negative and feeling affronted and feeling like your friends are judging you and feeling this and feeling that and feeling the other thing, just because that's what you're used to telling yourself, and you change that habit to defaulting to, well, maybe there's actually nothing wrong here. Maybe, there's good. Maybe they didn't see the text yet. I don't know. Imagine how much your life would change and how much less agitated you would feel if you trained yourself to do that. This is so important. It sounds so simple, and it is an incredibly powerful and an incredibly difficult thing to do, because when you start to try to redirect your thoughts to assuming good intent, assuming a positive reason why this is happening, or a charitable reason why you might not justify somebody's behavior, but explain it. See, we're not justifying bad behavior when we assume good intent. We are explaining it to ourselves momentarily so we don't think poisonous thoughts that make us feel like junk in our bodies. Eventually, you're going to find out what's going on one way or the other. So while you're waiting to find out one way or the other what your friend is up to and why they haven't responded, you might as well assume good intent because that's good for you. I want to answer some questions on this because I know we have a bunch of questions on this. I'm just scrolling through them. I apologize. We've gotten this one a lot. I'm sorry, I'm cut off. I need to lower my chair, I think. There we go. There we go. I'm shrinking. Okay. I don't want to be taken advantage of. This is a question we've gotten from multiple people. How do you assume good intent while still listening to your gut so that you aren't being taken advantage of? Or what if somebody offends you? How do you assume good intent then? So look, assuming good intent is all about what you're doing to you inside of your own head. If somebody offends you, if somebody is taking advantage of you, if somebody has crossed boundaries, they have made it clear where they stand, and it is up to you not to think poisonous thoughts, but to take positive action and say something about it, okay? So if you've got somebody in your life that's offending you, you need to tell them. If you have somebody in your life that is crossing boundaries, you need to tell them. They might not even know that they're crossing boundaries. If you have somebody in your life that is taking advantage of you, or you're concerned that they are, you need to say something and draw boundaries, period. One way that assuming good intent plays into this is that in order to muster up the courage to have the conversation, you can start by saying, they may not even, to yourself or to them, you may not even know that what you're doing is offending me, but I need to tell you X, Y, Z. You may not know that what you're doing is crossing a boundary for me, but I really feel like I need to tell you. You may not know that I'm starting to feel uncomfortable because I'm starting to feel like you're taking advantage of me, which is why I'm raising this. So you can have the conversation and you can use good intent to either empower you to have it, to buffer and the conversation when you start, if it's something that you're uncomfortable saying. And you might be surprised. You might be surprised that that person that says something offensive didn't even realize that it was offensive to you. And those are the kind of conversations that change people. Because a lot of people walk around not realizing that their behavior triggers people, that it crosses boundary, that it offends people, because nobody's got the guts to tell them. So don't assume good intent as a way to avoid talking to somebody about something that needs to be addressed. Don't assume good intent as a way to let someone off the hook for bad behavior because you don't want to deal with it. Assume good intent so you're not thinking poison, and assume good intent to set up an uncomfortable conversation in a way that has somebody still listening instead of accused and on their heels. Okay? Here's a shout out. Destiny Tuners watched, if you go to Instagram, I did a video about this earlier today. This is a great video. Was just replaying interactions with a friend that didn't text me back. Turns out they had a really busy weekend working. By the time I heard back, I had wasted so much negative energy and mindset, and then everything switched. Back to being friends. Basically, I needed this lesson. Do you understand that? Back to being friends. This person, and thank you for being honest about what you did to yourself. Here you have a friend who's holed up working all weekend long. They're stressed out. They're not spending their weekend the way they want to be spending it. And they don't respond to your text or email. And you're off torturing yourself in your own mind about the friendship, basically thinking it's over, they don't like me, this, that, and the other thing. And you, my friend, because you assumed bad intent, because you assumed the worst, you wasted your weekend thinking poison. If you start to train yourself when you notice that you're going to the poisonous thought, to instead go to a thought that is more productive or powerful or an explanation that is plausible and positive. Like, oh, maybe they're working. Maybe they deleted the text before they forgot to respond. Maybe their ADD has gotten the best of them. Maybe they're planning on calling me later. Who knows? Maybe they had a family emergency. You don't know. You're just sitting there ruining your own weekend and assuming you're no longer friends, which is ridiculous. And we all do it. We all do it. You're not alone. So please don't hear me talking about you sharing this as the fact that this is some sort of anomaly. This is exactly what I do too. Let's see, a couple more. How do you assume good intent while still listening to your guts? We already asked that one. Offense, we already asked that one. That one we already answered. How do I explain to somebody who is complaining or assuming the worst and gossiping with me that when I assume good intent and say so, that's not me not caring? What my offended friend is expressing. I don't really understand that question. Lisa, I apologize. I think the way to work with people that are complaining or gossiping. I had this experience where I was with a group of people, and there was a whole lot of gossiping going on. And all I said was, I don't want to spend my time with you talking about people who aren't here. And I walked out of the room. And gossiping only happens when there's a witness or an audience for it. And so if you tell someone that you don't like gossip and you're not gonna gossip, then you cut it off at the knees. Now, in terms of other people assuming good intent about you, what's the golden rule about change? There's only one person that you can change, and that's yourself. So don't waste any energy over people who constantly assume the worst about you. The best way to have them change what they think about you is to make sure that your behavior is consistent so that your behavior proves what they assume about you wrong. And by the way, if you're hanging out with people that constantly assume the worst about you, you probably shouldn't be hanging out with them, because your people, the people that really are the ones that you feel good about hanging out with, that you should invest the time in, those are the ones that are cheering for you. Those are the ones that constantly assume that there's something good going on with you, or that there's a positive explanation for why you haven't done what they expected you to do. Those people that are constantly thinking the worst, get rid of them. What if these bad intent thoughts are based on your history with a person? They're just not really trustworthy. Then what are you doing with them? Why are you hanging out with somebody who's not trustworthy? Why have you gotten back together with somebody if they're not trustworthy? If you have been with somebody that has cheated on you and you have taken them back, but you have not done the work to feel as though you can give them trust again, you shouldn't be with them, period. Because trust is not something that someone else earns. It's something that you decide to give. And if you are withholding it, it means that you don't feel safe with this person. It means you're busy looking for evidence to catch them, and you shouldn't be with the person, period. How do you give trust after it's been broken? You come up with non-negotiable agreements for what this person needs to be willing to do in order for you to feel safe giving your trust. And remember, you're always in control because you can always take the trust back. You don't want to have trust be in somebody else's hands. It's always in yours because you're the one that gives it and you're also the one that pulls it away. And so here's the thing. You don't trust this person. You haven't given it to them yet. And that's why this isn't working. Kristen, I constantly take things personally. Of course you do. We all do. Even if it has nothing to do with me. I get triggered, but I can't figure out what happened to me. How do I start? It might have something to do with one of your parents, Christine. Like why you're so triggered and how you take things personally. You might have been raised by somebody that was easily set off, and so your response to the small injustices in life is to let it get to you. You might have some narrative that life isn't fair, and so you've gotten used to seeing evidence of that as a fact. How do you apply this at work with your boss? I'm a perfectionist and I feel like if I do something wrong, my whole day is consumed with negative thoughts. How you do this with your boss is this is a good one for bosses because I'm constantly on the road. I'm constantly running from a speech to a plane. I'm somewhere between energized and exhausted. And a lot of times the texts that I send are staccato or fast, or I need something immediately, or I'm kind of on the move. And here's the thing. I have said this 1,000 times to the people that work with me. Please, 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 please. I'm never upset with you. I am just being pulled in a million directions. And so I'm typically like throwing things out of my mouth to get them out of my head and into a text. Please, 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 please don't make it mean something about what you're doing. If you're doing something that's worth worrying about, I'll let you know. But until then, just assume Mel's stressed and I'm here to catch the baton, and don't make it mean anything. And I can say that till I'm blue in the face. I know that because it's human nature, it's still easy to do. And there are probably times when the people that work with and for me take what I'm texting and make it mean something negative. That is a habit that you have to break. Truly, you have to break it. And, the other reason why is, look, if you work for a person who's a jerk, who's constantly yelling, you should look for a different job. There's no reason to work in an environment like that. But if you go through your day on edge, assuming that you're doing something wrong or looking for reasons why you screwed up, that is on you. And perfectionism is usually something that we develop because we want control. So you assume that you're not good enough, and so you try to be perfect. And you put all of your hopes and dreams and desires and effort into just making it perfect, just making it perfect, just making it perfect, as if somehow that's going to prove that you're good enough. And of course, is perfection even possible? Of course not. No, it's not. It's a mirage. It's a false sense of control. And so this really isn't about your boss. This is about you and the fact that you believe that you're not good enough or that you're going to get in trouble. And so you try to be perfect as a defense. And that's what's broken. What we need to have you start to adopt is this idea that you're going to put in the work, you're going to do your best, and if anything needs to be adjusted, you'll fix it. That the power is in putting in the effort, not in trying to be perfect. And as for the bosses out there that are yelling at people that work for you, stop it. Please stop it. What can you do if you're making progress on Mindset Reset, but still have moments every day when your thoughts are taking over and you're frustrated? You mean when you're human? Okay, so let me tell you something. I am leading the course and I get frustrated. I am leading the course and I get triggered. I am leading the course and my mind goes to the negative. I just shared with you that I'm leading a training right now on the power of assuming good intent. And I sent a friend of mine a text. And she hadn't written back, and we had been going back and forth, and I immediately was like, oh my God, the bluntness of that offended her. Uh-oh. I did it too. I keep saying this is a process, not an event, that you're learning a lifelong skill, because you will never, ever, ever live in a Pollyanna state. You're just not going to. There are things changing all around you at all times. The world is moving and throwing things at you. You're going to get triggered. You're going to have days where your thoughts take over. That's okay. That's the cool thing about doing a mindset reset. When your thoughts take over, use the tools. Take a deep breath. Notice your thoughts are drifting to something negative and come back to one of your anchor thoughts. Breathe in and out 5 times to slow down the action. Go back to your morning routine. So you're going to get frustrated. And I love, and this is progress that I want you to celebrate, that you notice it now. You notice what it's like to be in control of what you're thinking versus days where your thoughts take over. That is amazing. That's amazing. That's exactly what I want, because you've got a glimmer now into what life looks like when you control what you're thinking about. And when you experience a day that's overwhelming, that's frustrating, where your thoughts get the best of you, you now are uncomfortable like that. That's amazing. So what do? So first of all, give yourself a break. You're human. Stuff happens. And then let's go right back to the basics. Tonight, you're going to follow that evening and morning routine. You're going to plug your phone in outside your bedroom. You're going to get a great good night's sleep. The alarm goes off. You're not going to hit the snooze. You're going to get up. And then you're not going to look at your phone, not for 10 minutes. If you can give yourself 30 minutes to not look at your phone, fantastic, because those first 10 to 30 minutes, I want you doing the journaling method that we talked about in videos 6 through 11. Go to 5secondjournal.com and don't buy anything. I'm not selling you anything. There's all kinds of templates that you can download that will show you the science-backed journaling method that takes less than 5 seconds to answer each question, that will increase your focus, increase your happiness, leverage the progress principle, and help you have a positive mindset all day. And then just practice the tools. When you notice you're getting triggered, go from thinking this to that. When you notice yourself worrying, drop in an anchor thought. These are the tools and they work. And if you can add in daily visualization, there's some bonus points for you. Not that we're grading, but this stuff works, but you got to work it. I don't think there's anything else. Danielle and Mandy, if you got anything else, just hit it in the text chain. Otherwise, tomorrow, ooh, you're going to hate tomorrow. Tomorrow is video 24, and we're going to be talking about your habit of complaining. Today was about how you beat yourself up and assume the worst and think poison, and why it's important for you to stop that. Tomorrow, it's about your habit of complaining. And I'm going to have a challenge for you that you're not going to like, but that will further all the training that you're doing. And it's going to be crazy eye-opening. And I think you should do this with the kids in your life too, because this is something that nobody realizes that they do so much. So tomorrow, video 24 is all about complaining. If you have not signed up, go to melrobbins.com/mindsetreset. You guys, you keep asking me about this thing. So this is a bracelet from My Intent, myintent.org. And they allow, I love this company because it's a charity. And you get to pick your word. My word this year is deliberate. Probably not surprising, right? This little brass ring, I wear it every day. I love this thing. And if you go to if you want one of these things, myintent.org, and you use the code MEL, they give you like 30% off the thing, and it's already less than $30, so it's not a lot of money at all. Proceeds support charity. We're really thrilled to partner with these guys. I know you love them because you keep asking me, and I'm starting to see yours. So if you did get one and you love it as much as I do, because to me it helps me redirect my thoughts to visually see something that reminds me, be deliberate, Mel. Don't assume good intent. Assume good intent. Don't assume bad intent. So if you want one of those, just go to myintent.org and use Mel, and they'll give you 30% off. But I only say that because so many of you guys keep asking. Don't buy one. Remember, you're not supposed to buy anything from me, but y'all keep asking in the comments, so that's why I'm telling you. Let me think. What else did I want to tell you? Oh, I know. In case nobody else tells you today, I want to make sure to tell you that I love you and I believe in your ability to change your life for the better. And that's because you can do the small things to change how you think and to change your habits every single day. And that's why I'm here every single day, to remind you that you got this. And so I expect you to be here tomorrow for video 24 when I give you this awesome challenge and when we continue the Mindset Reset series. And if you found this helpful, please share it on your social platforms. Please share it with friends and family members that could really use this free training. We're doing this for you. We're doing this so that you have the tools to change how you think. And the more people that do this, there's more than 200,000 people around the world that have signed up for this free training, the better your life is going to be, particularly when people around you do it. So keep tagging us on social media and sharing your stories. You may be featured in our social media stories. I may shout you out live like I did today for Jenny and her adorable 6-year-old daughter, Rosie. And it just means the world to us to know that you are using this stuff and it's changing your life the way that it has changed mine. All right, go have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. How do I turn this off? There we go. Boom, stop. You sure you want